The GoPro Hero4 Black. Let's read some stats. Released in October 2014, was GoPro's top model at the time, known for bringing 4K video and high frame rate slow motion into the mainstream, aimed at action sport users, etc. Guys, this is 2014, 4K, 2.7K, 60 frames, 1080p up to 120 frames. 2014. Okay, let's put this in perspective. Nobody was doing this, okay? Just this little guy. And there's a reason I still use it today in my videos and in documentaries for major broadcasters. This little thing, still, it's got chips in it. The lens has been glued back on. It's still kicking. Love this thing. I think I originally had it on my Phantom 2 DJI, if you guys can remember the Phantom 2, if you're old like me. The Phantom 2 was the first DJI drone that you could put a camera to. I put the GoPro Hero4 on, and back then you had to open those drones up and you had to solder a wireless connection in so you could get this really staticky transmission of what your camera was seeing. Those were the days. Anyway, this is not a video about the drones. It's about the GoPro Hero4. And it's crazy to think how groundbreaking GoPro was back in 2014. Let's just do a little search here. What other cameras were available in 2014 that were offering 4K 24 frames per second, 2.7K up to 60 frames per second, and 1080p up to 120 frames per second, okay, in 2014. Not to mention the photos, 12 megapixels, 30 photos per second burst mode. It also had these, I'm reading off a list here, Pro Tunes manual controls for your ISO, your color, your exposure. It had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, guys. It had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. That's crazy. In 2014, time lapse and night modes, highlight tag to mark important moments. No one's ever used that. Let's be real. It's funny, there's some things in camera menus, I don't even know why they put them there. No one ever uses things like that. The build, it had a 0.5 inch sensor, f2.8 fixed lens, which is pretty dope. The waterproof housing up to 40 meters in water. Uses micro SD cards, and the battery. I wonder how long the battery life was. How long did the battery last? Wow. So at the full charge in 1080p, the battery would last you 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's insane. 4K, 1 hour. And 1080p at 60 frames per second, 80 to 90 minutes, which is insane. Let's just ask. Let's ask the wide web with all its wisdom. What other cameras in 2014 could compare to the GoPro Hero4 Black? Tell me, web, tell me. Do I even know these cameras? Oh, respect. The Panasonic GH4, 4K, 23, but it did not have 120 frames per second. I don't think. I think it had 60 frames per second you could shoot with the GH4. The other one that was available was the Panasonic Lumix DMC FZ1000. I don't know what that camera was all about. It had a 1-inch sensor. I do remember the GH4 because I'm actually using it, believe it or not, to film this video right now. Look at that. Still using my GH4 from 2014. Represent. You know, there's kind of a bigger lesson here. Every year, new cameras come out, and every year we think we need new cameras. I have newer cameras. I have 2 Canon C70s. Those are getting old now. Those are, what, 4 years old now? 3 years old? I love those cameras. I use them for all my broadcast documentary shoots. I use them for the YouTube channel. I use them for corporate stuff, but they're already getting older. Do I need new cameras? No. This is something I always tell people when they want to buy new cameras. What's the best camera I can buy right now? And I go, any camera. Every and any camera right now is great. Starting in 2014 with the Panasonic GH4. That seemed to be the year. 2014 came out with the GH4, 4K video, 24 frames per second, up to 60 frames per second in 1080p. And then you have the Hero4 Black. Point is that there's all these amazing cameras starting in 2014. You can't go wrong. And, you know, who gives a shit, okay? Most people, they don't even have 4K TVs. Most things are broadcasted in 1080p still today in 2025. There's just so much hype over new cameras and specs, and we get lost in this. Listen, I love all the camera companies competing and fighting for their spot to get the consumer's money. I get it. You're a business. Let's go. You got to do what you got to do. That being said, I'm not going to be crazy about your cameras anymore. There's just too many good cameras over the last, decade to be worried about. So the next time you're thinking of buying a camera, you can go all the way back to 2014, and I'm sure you can find an amazing camera in the last decade that's going to work for you and your business, your Instagram, your YouTube account, your commercial work, your film work. There are no rules. The standard would be, does it shoot 4K at 24 frames per second, and is it decent in lower light? If the answer is yes, then you're good to go. Also, does it have, not even if it has audio inputs, I mean, who cares? You can buy, Zoom makes all sorts of amazing recorders for doing your audio and all that kind of stuff, and you can sync it really easily now in post-production. So, I mean, I love it when a camera has it all built in because I can go directly in. But, even for this video, we're using the Zoom F8. I have the audio being recorded separately in the SD cards, and then I'll take the SD cards from the GH4 and we'll sync it all together. But that being said, guys, there's so many great cameras out there. Go out, get one used. The GH4, you can probably get it used for, I don't know, a couple $100. Old doesn't mean it's bad, and new doesn't mean it's better. All right, we'll catch you guys in the next video. If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps me out because I get more followers. Hit that like button. That really helps me out, gets people to share it more. Leave a comment. I love to hear what you guys think, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.